gentlemen, welcome to the British Academy Video Games Awards.
I think indie games winning shows the health of the industry. It means that we can have curated, toured experiences on a small level, and we can have large-scale ones, and it means that there's something that appeals to many different levels, and it's good. And I think everything that won, I'm a huge fan of. The Room is one of my favorite games of the year. Journey is incredible. I played it 5 times. I'm just obsessed with that game. So I think that, I mean, it's wonderful. I really feel like that room is full of real creators, grown up, powerful creators in a way that you don't see except at the Oscars and other events like that.
Do you think a lot of developers now are really tempted to go indie? Go back to their bedroom days and sit in their pants and write a game. Obviously, other clothing is available, but is that a real? Is it easy to do that now?
It's much easier because the tools are more accessible, and there is games have gotten cheaper, so you can get that kind of funding. I think it's definitely a risk, but at the same time, we all entered the industry because it's our passion. I know that I never thought for a second from age 7 onward about a different career. This was my dream, and every single thing that I did in my life was to get closer to this. So I think that if you can get even closer because you're on your own in your underpants or in your sweatpants coding, then that's amazing. And Braid for me is a huge triumph, and Jonathan made that completely on his own pretty much, and then the art direction and music came in later. And so he started that project, he took this brave leap to do it himself. And I think that it shows that a single vision can create rich, captivating games, and that a team perspective in something like Dishonored or Far Cry can also create rich, authored experiences. That I think it bodes really well for our industry.
You've written a lot of stories. You've written a lot for games. How do you get inspired for your next project? Like, obviously you're working on something now. How do you go and do your Tai Chi and kind of get ready for writing again?
Montreal is a very real city where no one cares that you write video games or are involved in video games. They're just like, oh, I know 2 other people who do that. Because there's so many game companies there. So it's not, you don't enter a cafe and see people on laptops writing. You don't see any of that. In fact, it's very down to earth. So being there is kind of an escape, where you're just focused on your work and on avoiding the weather. At the same time, I've recently, I have a few very close friends, and I've come to really rely on them. Because I don't have time to have other friends, and I've sacrificed a lot of things in my life to do this. And so when you have a group of close friends, a small group, then those people can help you get through the hard times. So it's really, and you also have to have a very strong work ethic. And another thing that's really important to me personally is everything I write has to mean something. And if it doesn't mean something, then I can't write it. And so it's almost impossible to not try to create something meaningful on my part, because what interests me is that multi-leveled, meaningful experience. And if I try to create something that isn't that, then I give up. That what needs to get you through those long nights and all the times alone and the times where you break up with people because you're not paying attention and all these other things, it comes from your goal to say something. And so if you're saying nothing, then why are you doing it? Because it's an ordeal. And so, if you're carrying the Olympic torch to the stadium, you better have the torch. Why would you run that marathon and you don't have it? It's all to deliver that.
Well, congratulations. Honestly, I'm so happy for you guys to pick up an award this evening, seeing as we've just seen the indie gamers come in and kind of swipe the board, but a much deserved award. And there's a bar somewhere, and you need to find that bar.
I definitely will. And I will say to end this that I think that we have an indie spirit. we were trying to subvert common conventions, and we were even subverting internal conventions in the studio. So there was a lot of risk involved in this. So I hope that we are among the indie pantheon on some level.
Find your insanity. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening.